in. Welcome. Thank you for joining me and being part of the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. As we do it once again, as always, from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Bunker Studio. Amy says, TGIF, you're damn right. You are damn right. Thank you, Nick. Welcome in to you. Amy, I have a confession to make. I am not going to be ready to run the Fifth Third Riverbank run. It's just not happening. I could run the 5K or the 10K, but the 15 and a half, I think I kind of screwed that up. However, I'm glad you reached out to me, Amy, about the Disney Marathon in January of 2024. We are getting together the Eric Zane AT Cure team for the charity AT Children's Project. We are going back as a group to Disney, and we're establishing a group of people to raise money for the charity. So I have details on all of that I just worked on yesterday, Amy, which I'll share with you via email and things like that. But just so you know, we are getting together a group, and right now there's two people in that group, Amy and EZ and Diana, who will be participating in the marathon weekend at Disney. So if you've always wanted to do this, run either the half marathon or the full marathon, they have a 5K, they have a 10K, all on separate days on that weekend, where this is what you do. If you, first of all, it's very, very difficult to get into this race. If you're not signing up right this second, you're going to get shut out. But they have reserved spots with the charity, so that's okay. We've got all those spots taken care of. But Amy already has her spot, but that's cool. You can still be part of the group. So what we do then is then you get like your little fundraising page for the AT Children's Project, and you send it out to your friends. Hey, I'm running this race. Can I get a few bucks from Aunt Ginny and Uncle Bob or whoever, Grandma Sue, to support the charity that I'm running for? And we do all that. Amy says, by the way, it's already sold out. The charity is the only way, but it's a good cause. So yeah, that's how you do that. Now I'll have details on how you sign up momentarily in the days and weeks that follow. But yeah, this is a done deal. So then you sign up, and then we all meet Disney, and then we're like a group together. We have this awesome pasta dinner beforehand where you get to meet a lot of the AT families. And if you aren't aware, what you have here with this deadly children's disease is it's a horrible setup where it combines. Hang on, I got to drink this before I say this because it takes a lot out of me. Hang on. It combines all the terrible things of muscular dystrophy, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, and absolutely devastating. And it is a disease that is, it's a gateway disease. The research for it can help with all those other diseases that I just mentioned. It's a neurological disorder and has physical effects as well, obviously, because robs a child of their ability to walk and to talk and other things like that. And usually life expectancy is in the early 20s at best. Children with AT are susceptible to certain types of cancers at a higher risk because their immune system is compromised. And there is no cure. There is no treatment, but they continue to hope, and it is because of people like this, like Amy, who does what she can to support the charity that makes these families hopeful. I was dealt into this because when we moved to Grand Rapids 19 years ago in June or July, my kids were starting school in September, and one of the teachers at Pinewood Elementary was a lady by the name of Mary Veldink. And I didn't know her. Very, very dear friend now, one of our closest, her and her family. And on the school bulletin board, it was Help the Veldink Girls, a fundraiser for the Veldink Girls. And I was like, what's up with these kids? And I see these two little blonde girls, and it says they're struggling with AT, and I didn't know what it was. And I was like, I don't know what that is, whatever. Well, eventually, because we got wove into the school, we figured out what was up, and we become very, very close with the Veldinks. As the years passed, we went many, many times to Florida for this exact same event, and it's weird because you get to know families, and then the children pass. So, I mean, that's inevitable. It seems there's no cure, no treatment, like I said, and that happened to Kate and Olivia. Dave and Mary have another daughter. Their oldest, that is Abby. She was not affected by AT, and is married now with a child. But it's been something that's how I got the Mr. 10 tattoo. That's how that all came about. So you're plugging into this whole group of people that have always been there. So I host the pasta party. I talk a little bit, so we'll be able to spend time together and have a great time. We can all stay in the same hotel area if you want. There's the one particular place called Orange Lake. When you're right at this lazy river that they have, it's fantastic. Linda says, I'll be walking. I'm not a runner, just a walker. Well, you can do that too. That's up to you. There's a lot of people that on the 5 and 10K, that's what Diana and Mary do. They usually walk the 10K, which isn't easy to do. That's a lot. That's 6.2 miles. But you're walking around Epcot there, and then they're usually planning while they're walking how many drinks they're going to have when they get done at the Tiki Bar. Because what you do is when you're poolside, is you have me go up to the Tiki Bar, and they have this big bucket of booze you get, and it's potent, and they load it up with so much booze, and then you hold it by a handle like you're a kid coming walking down the beach with a couple buckets of sand, and then you give one to one chick and another one to another chick, and then Maureen goes, I like one too, and I got to go back and get more, and Linda needs some booze. So that's how that goes. So basically, you go there, you have a good time. The women get hammered and look at hot dudes, and that's about it. It's great fun. The second weekend in January is when it all takes place. Now, I will have details in the coming days, weeks, about what you need to do to get involved. You don't even need to run. You can just be a screaming fan if you want. But I'm looking forward to that. Aram asks, what kind of time wins the marathon? Amy says, yeah, well, the elites run it in 2 to 2.5 hours. Yeah, I've seen a couple times you've had people 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 11 minutes for some of those high-end runners. It's really remarkable. One year, the charity was overseeing a water stop. So what we would do was the AT Children's Project agreed to, at one of the spots where the people have tables of water and you get a drink when you're running by, you get there real early before the race even starts, pitch black, 4 a.m, and you set up all these tables and you set up all the cups and you mix the Gatorade and you put the Gatorade in the cups and you're waiting there for the runners to come. So this is at mile mark 10. And the guy who's overseeing it is actually a paid employee, and we're all volunteers. And we get on we drive to the property, Disney property, and then you get on a bus. And then the bus takes you to the mile marker, and all the shit's set up on the side of the road. It's all on a pallet. You have to unwrap it. You have to settle. It's a lot of work. But You do it to get exposure because your sign is there, AT Children's Project. And as a perk, they give everybody a free entry to the park, which is quite expensive to get into the park. So we get there, and or actually, I should say we take off on our adventure, and then the bus driver gets us lost. We don't know where we are. It's pitch black, and none of us know what to do. But the guy who is the leader of he's like, oh, fuck it, Jesus. And so we finally get to where we need to go. And we're late. We're really, really behind schedule. But we bust our ass setting that shit up. And it was a cold morning. It was a very, very cold morning. It was like below 32 degrees. And I remember because the water and shit would spill on the road from when the runners went by getting their drinks. And it would freeze. And people were fucking falling. And we had to quickly get like salt and salt the fucking road because it was a hazard, you know? But we're setting all this shit up. And the leader is some guy from Brazil, and he would win it every year. I mean, just flying. You know, 5 minutes a mile the whole way. And he comes screaming through, and there's all these tables all set up where we finally got it done, and no one grabbed one to hand it to him, which is what you're supposed to do. So he starts screaming while he's running, and he reaches over and just grabs one as he's running by, and just fucking, he was pissed off, and you know, he gets his water in him, but then he keeps going, screaming, giving us the finger. We're like, holy shit. And then Dave Velding goes, well, we failed there. We got to do better. I'll never forget it. And then there was some dude who was kind of being a real fucking prick, chief screw volunteer, is bossing everybody around. I remember him because he was from Boston. And he sounded like that, too, because Logan Belgraf, I'm standing next to my dear friend Brian Belgraf, the dearly departed Brian, and his wife, the multi-talented Jen and Ian. We're all there together doing our thing, and Logan's pouring the fucking Gatorade into the cups, and this guy goes, "No, you're doing it wrong. Here, you got to do bartender pour." And we go, "What?" I've told this story before. He goes, "Yeah, bartender pour." We go, "What's a bartender pour?" He goes, "No, you know, like you're a bartender and how you pour it?" And I'm like, motherfucker, we speak English in the Midwest, you dumb fuck. We don't know what bartender pour is. We would say bartender pour. And I'm putting it together what you want me to do, but go ahead, show me, fucking bully. And he's like, he just starts pouring it like and dragging his hand across it like a crane, and the shit's going everywhere. It's like, fuck, we can do it. We don't have to make a fucking mess, you goddamn fucking East Coast slob. Yeah, bartender pour. That's the way we do it. Hey, yo, Sam. Hey, Nami. Hey, asshole. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus. Aram weighing in, talking about the pace that these leaders run at 5 minutes a mile. Yeah, that's a world-class runner, 5 minutes a mile for 26 miles. That's insane. Holy shit. Absolutely ridiculous. You got some quick people out there. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, just as long as you get it done. But the point of the weekend isn't is all about the fellowship and meeting the AT families, and your that's the way AT moves the meter. How they fund their research and you know, provide a light of hope for these families is by, you know, people who do the lemonade sale and the bake sale and the fundraising from just individual people. That is the lifeblood of it. So I'm excited about that. So there you go. That's what we're planning to do. Keep your eyes open. I'll be talking more about that as we get closer to it. But if you're thinking about it, you know, you're 8 months away, 7 months away. Yeah, it's asking a lot, I realize, because you got to get there. There's a cost in that. In the past, if you raise a certain amount of money, the percentage of your hotel is reimbursed. And I don't know about that. I know they used to do that. I need to find that information out. And also the cost to sign up for the race is also something you have to think about too. So this is not a small undertaking. I'm asking you to take a vacation with me. But I'd like to think that you would find that enjoyable. And I know you will. I know you will have a great time. Okay. Plus, you get to go to Disney. You're fucking running through the Magic Kingdom, for fuck's sake. Now, I don't run the full marathon. I run the half. And run is relative because last year, in January, in fact, boy, I crashed and burned about mile 9 or 10, and I just limped my ass home. Ugh. My goal is to get into shape where it just doesn't hurt so much. And, oh, God. It's hard to believe that there was a time in my life that, well, it always hurt, but it hurts more now. I just have the hardest time. And ever since we started to camp, ever since we started to go on the weekends and camping, I stopped running. Amy says, I looked up your time and thought you still did great. Diana, too. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're very, very kind. I used to be able to run that half marathon in about an hour 28. I think I did it this year in like 2 hours and 35 minutes or something like that. I used to average under 7 minutes a mile for that fucking thing. I mean, I could see the leaders for like several miles. They were within sight. They're 2 minutes ahead of me every mile. But fuck, I used to be in fucking great shape. And now I'm a fat piece of shit who just loves to eat garbage. All right. Thank you so much for being here. It's a great, I'm excited about this weekend. First of all, because the weather is great. It's going to turn, though, on Saturday night into Sunday. But we have had this glorious week where the temperatures have been in the mid to upper 70s. Intensely awesome. Out of nowhere, it goes from winter to midsummer. Now, I think that's supposed to change very soon. Like Saturday night, the shit hits the fan, and then we're supposed to get snow coming up next week. Not a lot, but just enough to remind us, hey, fuck you. You're in Michigan. But I'm still stoked. Still great. So not a ton going on here, but always something podcast related. I'm sure you will hear from me this weekend. I do have something planned for you. I talked about this earlier in the week, but I can't really say what's going on. I have to keep it low key. All right, that's all I'll say. But you'll know it when you see it or you'll hear it. It's something that you're like, oh, okay, this is what Eric was talking about. This is what he was excited about. You know? Problem with the temperature is it's not like I want to flip on the air conditioner now, but I think I should have because last night, there's like 3 dogs in the bed. Well, 2. There used to be 3. There's 2 dogs in the bed, and it's warm in the room, and it's like, son of a bitch, I can't stop sweating. It's horrible. You ever do that where you're sound asleep and you wake up and you're wet? You're like totally wet. It's like, what the fuck? It's so gross. That was me last night. I had heard Al Roker say, yeah, you sweat a cup a day or a cup a night every night. And I'm like, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. But I think I did last night. Oh, so gross. Jesus, the fuck? Fans blowing on me, just blowing hot air. God dang it. All right. Thank you so much for enjoying the show. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Twitter @Eric Zane Show. And also on YouTube. If you're watching the show on those platforms, let it be known that I'm going to let you go. And you want to see the rest of the show, you got to watch it on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Or download the Twitch app. Give yourself a username there so you can participate in the chat. Follow it so you know when I go live. That's the only way to get the show uninterrupted. As always, you can download the audio podcast shortly after it finishes, wherever you download shows. That could be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart. I'm on all of them if you want the audio podcast. And if you ever want to say hello, by all means, don't be a stranger. I love the correspondence. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Thank you, thank you, thank you.